Boxing on DAZN, brought to you by William Hill.
Fresh coffee? Better.
Keep practicing.
Better.
Keep perfecting.
Better.
Keep going. Because no matter how good you get, there's always room for better. Delta. Keep climbing.
Sometimes running a business can feel like running a marathon in a desert, through quicksand. But Xero accounting software can help keep your business finances running smoothly. Soon that marathon will feel more like a fun run. On roller skates, with a jetpack. Cha-ching! Search Xero with an X, because healthy business is beautiful business.
Boxing on DAZN, brought to you by William Hill.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome. From the four corners of the world, to the four corners of this ring, the fight starts now!
Touch gloves.
How do you like it?
Close the show. So aggressive, so focused.
Look at these two guys! Still the undisputed champion of the world!
Well, a very good afternoon, everybody. It's that time again. It's Fight Week on DAZN. This Saturday from the AO Arena right here in Manchester, Jordan Gill and Zelfa Barrett collide in an intriguing all-British super featherweight clash. A must-win for both if they are to look towards a shot at £130 world honours later this year. Jamie Ward here to bring you all the action from today's final press conference here in Fight Week, as I say, right here in the wonderful fighting city of Manchester, alongside former IBF World Middleweight Champion, Mr. Darren Barker. Now, Darren, we love coming back to Manchester. So many brilliant nights at that famous old arena, the spiritual home of boxing in this great city, but a special arena for yourself as well. I don't always like bigging you up, but come on.
A magical moment for me. 2002 won a Commonwealth Games here in that very arena. Very special place to me, yeah, always holds a place in my heart. What a fight city, and we have a fight Saturday night which promises to live up to all expectations.
Well, I'm surprised you didn't bring the medal.
Do you know what? I forgot it, mate. I usually have it. I usually wear it all the time, like Mr. T.
You were going to. The banter's getting worse, isn't it? Not getting any better, anyway.
I'm being serious.
I mentioned the word intriguing there in the intro. When you look at this fight, Jordan Gill went into the Lion's Den, didn't he, in Belfast, against the odds, and beat Michael Conlan in brilliant fashion. Yeah. Zelfa Barrett has boxed at world level, came up short in a good fight, a great effort on short notice against Shavkat Rakhimov in 2022. What do you find intriguing about what is a bit of a crossroads fight right now for these two?
Where the winner goes, because it's that important. You must win. You must win if you want another crack at a world title. If you're Zelfa Barrett, if you're Jordan Gill, you want that first crack at world honours. You need a win here. Yes, it is about performing, looking good and leaving everything in the ring. You will get another shot. But I think a defeat here really derails the careers, the momentum that they have. Gill, after that last performance, incredible. Most wrote him off against Conlan, but a different beast altogether at super featherweight. Incredible. That is what intrigues me with this one. The winner goes on to something very special.
Well, that is your main event that sits atop a 10-fight card this Saturday on DAZN. Let's give you a little reminder of what you do have to look forward to on Saturday night. We begin before the bell, 5 p.m. with the return of the charismatic 6-0 super bantamweight prospect Brandon Scott. He's in with Rodrigo Areco after a period out with injury. Expect some fun and games from him on Saturday and definitely today as well. Will Croller, young brother of Anthony Croller, fights for the second time at the AO Arena and what is his 5th fight as a professional. He steps up to 6 rounds after 3 consecutive stoppage wins. He's in with Fabio Casconi at 154 pounds. Hard-hitting 3-0 Essex middleweight Jimmy Sains returns after victory in Las Vegas in February. What an experience for him that was against Mateusz Kalecki in his first 6-rounder. Bantamweight Jack Turner, who is 5-0 with 5 first-round knockouts, by the way, continues his professional development also over 6 rounds. Jordan Flynn also returns after his highly anticipated clash with Cameron Vong was unfortunately postponed. We then cross live to the main broadcast, usual time of 7 p.m, one place to watch all the action. That's right here on DAZN. Michael Gomez Jr. defends his English super featherweight title against Kane Baker over 10 rounds before a massive moment for Rhiannon Dixon, who collides with a former opponent of Katie Taylor's for a belt previously held by Katie herself too. Rhiannon Dixon versus Karen Carabajal, 10 2-minute rounds for the vacant WBO World Lightweight crown. Huge ticket seller, senior ABA champion Steve Clark fights for the second time as a professional after debut victory in January against Jensen Irving over 4 middleweight rounds. Chief support, more world title action. What a fight this is. IBF World Super Bantamweight champion Ellie Scotney fronts unbeaten 18-0 WBO World champion Segaline Lefebvre in a 122 pounds Super Bantamweight unification. Before that main event, Jordan Gill versus Zelfa Barrett WBA International Super Featherweight title on the line. Must win for both. So much to look forward to on Saturday night. We're nearly ready to go, Darren. This is a great card.
Look at before the bell.
I know. You must be buzzing.
I'm over the moon. It's crammed, it's stacked. I mean, what a card. Really, really good.
We can't wait. All the action to look forward to. First, though, it's the press conference. The fighters are standing by. Let's get today's press conference underway with promoter Eddie Hearn.
Oh, no. No, I'm not here for the 5K. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Manchester. Great turnout here ahead of another big night for British boxing. This Saturday, live and exclusive round the world on DAZN. Just part of an incredible schedule. Of course, we're in Las Vegas last week for a great show. Manchester this week. Next week, Devin Haney takes on Ryan Garcia in Brooklyn before we're back for the next gen in Liverpool. The small matter of Canelo Alvarez against Jaime Munguia live on DAZN on Cinco de Mayo. We're in Mexico on May the 11th, then straight to Riyadh, of course, for Tyson Fury against Alexander Usyk, Maris Bradis against Jai Opetaia, Joe Cordina against Anthony Kakachi in a fantastic card. And then a week later, Jack Catterall takes on Josh Taylor up in Leeds before we go back to Riyadh for what will be announced on Monday. Of course, Bivol against Beterbiev and the 5v5. I can confirm the best card I've ever seen, top to bottom, in Riyadh on June the 1st. June 15th, we're in Puerto Rico for Subriel Matias defending his world championship against Liam Paro. And, of course, back end of the month, Bam Rodriguez against Estrada in what I believe will be fight of the year. Here to talk about Manchester, of course, this week, and what a cracking main event we've got. I think exactly the type of fight we should be making in British boxing as the hometown kid Zelfa Barrett takes on Jordan Gill, fresh off his stunning victory against Mick Conlan. Ellie Scotney, of course, in a huge unification matchup against LeBouf. Rhiannon Dixon goes for her first world championship, and great talent on the card beneath me here, and a great ding-dong matchup as well with Michael Gomez Jr. against Kane Baker. Where to start? I think the man that always gives us plenty of entertainment, and the man that is back from a hand injury, an operation, Brandon Scott. Brandon, welcome. Big opportunity, back on Saturday night, huge amount of tickets sold, ready to go.
You are not doing this to me again. Do you realize what you did to me? Right, everyone. Let's see who this really is. Eddie, do you know this man?
I've no idea what's going on.
Eddie, you've been ignoring my phone calls. We've got a fight to talk about.
Can I'll just say one thing. I hope it's you on the card and not him, because he's expensive.
Well, going around, this is like, before Sonny runs off, this is like my way of announcing that Sonny will be working alongside Lee Eaton to co-manage me going forward, which is crazy to think about it. I remember meeting Sonny in the O2 when Lomachenko fought Luke Campbell, And then in the last fight in the O2, he was in my corner, and now he's co-managing me, sat in a Spider-Man costume. This is just proof, ladies and gentlemen, that we live in a simulation.
I'll do anything for money, Eddie.
I'll be honest with you, Brandon looks better in Lycra.
Better than me.
Yeah. It's very cold in here, Sonny.
I know.
Yeah. Brandon, welcome.
Still got my socks down there.
I'm still a bit taken back by that, but on a serious note, the nightmare of the injury behind you, and again, we didn't just sign you because you are an absolute lunatic, we signed you because you can really fight. And one thing I've been impressed about is obviously the work in the gym, but also the support you have coming up to Manchester. A few hundred coming up from Wales and ready now to kickstart a big 2024.
Yep, this is it now. I'm here, I'm full, I've got both of my hands. And wherever you see Saturday, I know I can confidently say, it's me. You know, you probably live Groundhog Day, Eddie. You go to a new country, you have a press conference, you do this. So I thought I'd spice it up a little bit for you, but I'm also going to show you a lot more entertaining in the ring with showing everyone how good I am.
Well, very good. And thank you for that. That was better than I've had a good camp, I'm ready. So, thank you, Brandon. Jack Turner, El Terrier. Welcome, Jack. Just doing the DAZN boxing show with Tony Bellew, believes that you are the new star coming out of Liverpool. You are the man. Pound for pound, explosive punch power. Again, massive support coming to Manchester this weekend. Ready for, hopefully, some more rounds this Saturday.
Yeah, firstly, I want to say thank you to my team, Eddie and Matchroom, for getting me on such a big show. And come Saturday, expect a big knockout.
I've seen in the gym with Joe, looking to just refine you a little bit. We know the punch power's there, you're all action non-stop, but obviously difficult to get the rounds when you're taking these guys out early, but a lot of the education taking place in the gym.
Yeah, I do. Well, it's been hard getting me sparring lately, and I've had a Mexican over, a tough Mexican, but I've just been playing with them. So everyone thinks I can just fight, but it's not me who picks me opponents, and all I have is someone in front of me, and I just keep knocking them out, and I'm not here to mess around. I'm here to put a statement on Saturday night, and I want to win titles.
Well, we believe you are one of the most exciting young talents in the country, and a huge ticket seller, as is this man, Steve Clark. Steve, welcome for your first fight on a Matchroom card. Again, talking to Paul Smith, unbelievable amount of tickets sold on Saturday night. As Jack, similar to you in terms of popularity, but looking for fight number 2 at the weekend in Manchester.
Yeah, no, buzzing to be on such a big card again, and thanks to everyone who's bought a ticket. You know, I've always had big support, so you know, looking to put on a good performance Saturday night. Obviously a stellar amateur as well. You know the man to the right of you, Jimmy Sains, very well as well. Activity key for you, and obviously with the support that you have, as something you look to lock in for 2024. Yeah, definitely. I just want to get out, be as active as possible, gain that experience, and then we'll go from there. Well, 2 amateur rivals now. Jimmy, a established pro, nearly 3 fights, 3 knockouts. The shoulders are filling out. I'm looking at the size of that neck, Jimmy. That's coming on leaps and bounds. Las Vegas last time, a showreel knockout. Again, plenty of fans coming up to Manchester on Saturday night for number 4.
Yeah, just shy of 100 people coming up from Essex and London, coming up to Manchester. I'm not really looking for the knockout, but it'll be nice, and hopefully we can go 4-0, 4 KOs. Obviously, great experience last time in Las Vegas, not just the fight, but camp in Santa Monica as well, back in the cold of Brentwood in the Matchroom gym, but learned a lot from that experience. Yeah, definitely. I learnt loads. Tony's definitely brought us back down to reality very quick. Straight on the triangle runs, but like I said, learnt loads out there, and it was a great experience to live like a pro for 5 weeks. Live like a pro in a camp house all together with Dan Lawrence, John Ryder, Joe Cordina. I learnt loads from everyone. We all learnt loads, so it's great now to put that into my next fight, show everyone what I've learnt. It's my first 6 rounder, so this time I can take my time a little bit more and show everyone my boxing ability as well. Well, fight number 4 for the explosive Jimmy Sains on Saturday night. Talk about punch power, the man to his right, someone that's showing it in abundance. Again, William Crawler, welcome. Things are getting exciting now, Will. You know, I know when you turned over
You hadn't boxed for a while. You've been nice and active, obviously selling a lot of tickets. You know that you have a lot of fans coming to the arena on Saturday night. I felt like when you made your professional debut, you know, it was all a little bit of a fairy tale. Now it's real business for you now, looking really, really good, on a great run of stoppages as well, and ready for another big performance on Saturday.
No, yeah, like you said, it's flew, 5th fight, 11 months after my debut, and I believe you've only got to watch my last performances. I'm a total different fighter to that. I believe I'm coming into my element now. I'm really sitting on my shots, and on paper, Saturday night's a step up in rounds on opponent. I should get some rounds through, but if I go out with business I've been doing in the gym, I believe it'd be another early night.
Talk about that transition from the amateur code, and we talk about that punch power. I know you really believe now in your power, and we're seeing it in the stoppages as well. Just something that's come through conditioning in the gym and working with your brother. I know that you feel that you could always punch, but you are developing as a puncher in the paid ranks.
Yeah, of course. I believe I've always had the style to do that, and at the minute the gym's flying. There's a lot of new signings coming there, and just trying to better yourself every day just to compete at that level, and I believe I have been doing, and I believe Saturday night it'll show again a massive improvement since you've last seen me.
And your brother, of course, one of the great fighters from Manchester. Somehow he's fluked it as a trainer as well. We don't know how, but remarkably he could have his first world champion on Saturday night. Croft twins as well in there, and a big night for Rhiannon, looking to get the job done and get out and support her and see her become a world champion.
No, yeah, it is the biggest night since he started training in the gym for the MCR Roller camp, and I believe it'll be a good one. I believe it'll be a good one.
Well, look forward to seeing you in action on Saturday night. Jordan Flynn. Jordan, not the fight that we wanted. Of course, the recent pullout of Cameron Vong. New date scheduled for June will be announced shortly. Again, kept you on the card, not just because it's not your fault and you need to fight, but massive support coming up for you as well. And maybe will work to your advantage to get this run out before that big fight in June.
Yeah, definitely, Eddie. Thank you to Matchroom, everyone involved, for keeping me on the card. We've got a lot of people travelling up from Oxford, hundreds of us coming out here. They've all got hotels, so it's a big thing that I'm still fighting. But yeah, on to Cameron. I don't really know what's happened with him. He's pulled out with a minor injury and no explanation of what that injury is. He was talking about playing with me with one hand, but you know, he's pulling out with a minor injury, and he must be playing with someone else with one hand. I don't know what he's playing with.
Obviously, that fight had a great build-up, but it's only going to get bigger as well. Saturday just about getting through this night before that fight, which will be even bigger come June as well. But great to get the momentum and activity going into what will be the most important fight of your career.
Yeah, definitely. It's important to be active, so if anything, it's worked out better for me. I'm getting a fight in, and then I'm going to fight him then in June, if that's when it's happening. But yeah, the main thing is getting active. If I wasn't still fighting, I would be very annoyed. But the fact is I'm still fighting, so thank you to yourself and 258 and everyone involved for making that happen.
Well, hopefully come through on Saturday night. I'm sure you will, and then we make the big one in June. We'll look forward to it. A fight that could potentially steal the show is the English title fight between Michael Gomez Jr. and Kane Baker on Saturday night. Both fighters always in all-action fights. Kane, we'll start with you. Welcome. It's a massive fight for you. I mean, you've paid your dues. You're now in what many see as a 50-50 fight. I'm sure Michael won't agree, but we should get a great fight between you and Michael Gomez to kickstart the broadcast on Saturday night.
100%. I think our styles are going to gel. Fantastic and crowd-pleasing fight. 100% non-stop engines and punching, and that's what we want.
I've seen you train harder than you've ever trained for this fight. I've seen you out in Mexico on random sparring trips as well, taking it very seriously now. The career has really evolved from, you know, someone that was slung in the deep end early to a guy that became a little bit of a journeyman, the guy that became a contender, the guy that started potentially winning championships as well. Is it just the experiences of the styles and the nights that you've had that put you in this kind of position now?
Yeah, definitely the experiences and being a late starter in boxing, and I've learned on the job a lot of it, and I've took some tough experiences, but I think it's made me a better fighter, and it's all prepared me for Saturday to become the English champion. So I'm happy. Mexico, there was no tacos, no tequila, just sparring, and yeah, it's all going to show on Saturday night.
Going to be a great show and great atmosphere as well. You're bringing a few up with you, I know.
Always. The Barmy Brummies are always there.
And Michael Gomez, big ticket seller.
Massive.
Ready for war on Saturday night?
100%. Put us in a phone box and let's go.
Michael, welcome. This is going to be a great fight, you two. I know you don't see it as a 50-50 fight, but I'm sure you respect Kane. He always brings it every time. Big support from you. English title defence, ready to go in Manchester on Saturday night.
Yeah, first of all, shout out to yourself, Matchroom, the DAZN manager, Kevin, for putting me on Saturday. Can't wait, mate. No, let's go. Nothing else to say.
Crazy fans, ready for the experience?
Everybody's ready, mate. From the first bell, it's going off, mate. It's going off. For as long as it lasts, it's going to be fun.
This man, don't take a step back, right in front of you.
Well, he can only go to the ropes anyway. There's not going to be any further to go. We're only going to be head-to-head or on the ropes. There's nowhere else to go. I'm going to be in his face and somebody's getting hurt.
You fancy this fight inside the distance?
Well, one of us are getting stopped. It could be me. I'm not stupid and saying it can't be. But one of us are getting stopped, and more than likely it's going to be him.
Well, I can't wait to see it. Michael Gomez against Kane Baker for the English title on Saturday night. The first of our World Championship fights on Saturday night is a cracker. A tremendous story. As Will said earlier, Rhiannon Dixon looking to become a world champion from up the road in Warrington. It's a massive step up for her after winning Commonwealth and European Championships against Karen Carabajal, who we saw, of course, fight Katie Taylor, give her a great fight, take rounds off her as well at Wembley Arena. And a huge opportunity for both fighters in the lightweight division to capture the WBO world title. Karen, welcome. Kieran here is to translate as well. Welcome back to the UK. Massive opportunity for you to become world champion on Saturday.
En primer lugar, Karen, bienvenida de nuevo aquí. Estás aquí de nuevo en estas tierras, en el Reino Unido. Una oportunidad enorme para convertirte en campeona del mundo el sábado por la noche.
Sí, bueno, muchas gracias por la oportunidad. La verdad que estoy muy feliz de esta nueva chance y nada, nos venimos preparando un montón para esta oportunidad, así que estamos listos para la pelea.
Yeah, so first and foremost, I want to say thank you for this opportunity to once again have this chance to fight for a world title. And we're completely ready for this opportunity. We've been preparing extremely hard, and we're totally ready for this fight on Saturday night.
3 victories since the defeat to Katie Taylor. Must have been an incredible learning experience. A fight that you were competitive in as well. You believe you'll be victorious on Saturday night?
Sí, 3 victorias desde la pelea que tuviste con Katie Taylor. Supongo que fue un aprendizaje enorme para ti, pero totalmente preparado para llevarte la victoria el sábado por la noche.
Sí, la pelea con Katie Taylor, la verdad que me hizo sentirme con más seguridad, ¿no? Con la oportunidad de poder disputar un título mundial. Es algo nuevo para nosotros, pero estamos contentos, seguros, preparados y bueno, haber salido del país, ¿no? Y enfrentarme a Katie Taylor fue lo que necesitamos para darnos cuenta que estamos en el nivel y con la oportunidad de poder ganar y tener una posibilidad por título en el mundo. Bueno, ahora llegó y estamos muy contentos y preparados, con ganas de que llegue el momento.
Yeah, so it was a great opportunity to come here and fight Katie Taylor for that world title. You know, it was almost an opportunity that was new to us, but it made us extremely sure that we belong at this level. You know, going away from our own country to fight Katie Taylor was for this world title was a fight we needed. You know, and we're really prepared and hunger to go and have the experience again and to do well on Saturday.
Thank you, Kieran. Thank you, Karen. Rhiannon, ready to go. Some story, some ride, so quick. This has all evolved, you know, victory in Liverpool for the Commonwealth title, in London for the European title as well. The belts become vacant at 135, in the deep end on Saturday night, ready to become world champion.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it, and I can't thank you enough. You know, you took a risk on a girl from white collar. I was a pharmacist at the time, and I'm going to repay the favour on Saturday and show you that, you know, I belong at this level.
That belief has been important, but something that's really grown in you over the last couple of fights. You've proved that you're at this level, but it is a step beyond that on Saturday night. Good victories for the Commonwealth and European, but this is a true world-level fight on Saturday.
Yeah, definitely. I think confidence was a massive thing when me and Anthony got together. He obviously believed in me, and it was just me believing in myself. And you could see from like my walkouts, like I could actually cringe at myself. It's so embarrassing. I'll do it this Saturday as well. But no, I know I'm at this level, and I can't wait to show it and bring the world title back to Warrington.
Obviously, becoming a world champion is one thing, but the fights that could present themselves beyond that, life-changing in that respect. Of course, Beatrice Ferreira goes for the world title in a couple of weeks' time. Caroline Dubois looking to fight for the world title. You know, Katie Taylor fluctuating between lightweight and light welterweight. Talks of Terry Harper coming back to 135. I know you're focused on Saturday, but the opportunities, if you come through, will be endless.
Oh yeah, definitely, and I'm excited for them opportunities as well. But like with women's boxing, you don't know who's going where. Like girls go up loads of weights, come down. So no, I'm excited. You know, get the win on Saturday and see what opportunities are there after that.
Well, great fight for the WBO Lightweight World Championship. Rhiannon Dixon against Karen Carabajal. As is this fight, one of the top fights in women's boxing that I think can be made. Ellie Scotney against Ségolène Leboeuf for the WBO and the IBF Super Bantamweight World Championships. We're seeing time and time again that the female fighters are stepping up into the big fights, in unification fights, as soon as possible. And when we sat down with Ellie after she won the World Championship, the aim was become undisputed as soon as possible. Mercado and Cruz on the other side of the unification puzzle, but this Saturday, a big step up for Ellie Scotney against the 18-0 WBO World Champion. Ségolène, welcome. This is a fight that you've wanted, your team's wanted. Lee Eaton's been plaguing me for this fight. You seem very confident going into what will be a great fight on Saturday.
Bienvenue Ségolène, bienvenue en Angleterre. Évidemment, c'est un grand événement ce samedi. Lee Eaton nous a autant troublés pour organiser ce match. Nous imaginons que pour vous, ça va être une grande confrontation samedi.
Merci de m'accueillir en Angleterre. Je suis très heureuse d'être ici parce que l'Angleterre, c'est un grand pays de boxe. Matchroom, c'est un très grand événement connu mondialement. Ça va être un très très gros combat. Je suis très heureuse de pouvoir unifier la ceinture. Donc on va donner le maximum pour repartir avec les 2 ceintures à la maison.
Yeah, well, thanks to you, Eddie, and to England, the welcome here. It's obviously a big boxing country, the UK, and I'm delighted to be here. Matchroom, obviously known throughout the world. I'm delighted to be here and to have this opportunity to unify the fight, and there's no question in my mind I'm not here to surrender my belt. My plan is to take both belts back with me to France on Sunday.
I saw in an interview you said there's only one person that wins this fight by stoppage on Saturday. Ellie is all action as well. Is that the kind of fight that you're expecting, an all-action fight between you two for both belts?
J'ai entendu dans les interviews d'hier qu'il y aura qu'une seule gagnant, et par KO aussi, Ellie. Vous le voyez comme ça? Vous imaginez que ce sera un KO, mais de votre part?
Le plus important, c'est la victoire. Si le KO y vient, c'est très bien, c'est même mieux. Mais l'important, c'est de gagner, et je vais faire voir ce que c'est une Française sur un ring en Angleterre.
Well, the win is the win, and that's the objective. If it comes by KO, well, fantastic, so much the better. The most important thing is to give everything I can and show people here just what a French fighter can really do.
Thank you, Ségolène. Ellie, welcome. The time has come, the unification. It's what you wanted when you become world champion. A great fight on Saturday night. Yourself, Ségolène, Erica Cruz, Mercado, all great champions, and a chance to add another belt to the collection in Manchester.
Yeah, for sure. As soon as I won the world title, you know, we sat down and unification was what I wanted next. Obviously, it was one fight in between, but all that matters is Saturday night, and that's the next step, and I'm ready to go.
Do you study the opponents? I know Shane and the team will as well. I know you're a boxing fan, most likely watching Roberto Duran and other fighters on.
Yeah, she looks a bit different to Roberto Duran.
But you watched the action, you watched the fighters as well, studied the opponent for Saturday?
Yeah, you know, me and Shane have sat down, we've watched her, and she's someone that I've looked at before I even challenged for the world title. We tried to make the fight, but it didn't align, whereas, you know, we're fighting for more on the line on Saturday night.
Obviously, in a lot of fights that you've had, you've been all action, very, very exciting, sometimes taking a few to land a few and give the crowd the excitement. Do you have to fight differently against the better level of opposition, or do you think that's where we're going to see the best of you?
I think these are the fights you'll see the best of me, you know. I've got to show a side that I haven't in the fights previously, and this is the fight that's going to bring it, and I'm excited for you all to see.
I know the plan is undisputed, not looking past Saturday, but potentially just 2 wins away from becoming undisputed at 122. It's a massive night for you at the weekend.
Yeah, it's massive, but like we say, all that matters is Saturday, so that's what I've got my eyes on.
Well, big unification. IBF, WBO, World Super Bantamweight Championships between Eddie Scotney and Seghalin Leboeuf. A great fight as our co-main event in Manchester. When we talk about great fights, this is a great fight. I don't know how you can pick a winner in this fight. And the game and the sport would be such a better place if fights like this just happened all the time. Two guys that are right in line to challenge for the World Championship. Two Brits who are just prepared to gamble on Saturday night to get that shot at the world title and to give us a great fight in Manchester. Zelfa Barrett, who came so close to winning the World Championship against Rakimov in Abu Dhabi, gets a chance to headline in Manchester Arena. And the man to my right, they wrote him off after the Kiko Martinez fight. Talk about a second wind. Devastating performance against Mick Conlan out in Belfast to win as he looks to challenge for the Super Featherweight World Championship as well. Zelfa, we'll start with you. This is what you wanted for a long time, headlining in the arena. You've been to this place many, many times. Going to be a special walk on Saturday, and a lot of people very, very excited about this fight.
Yeah, man, it's a dream come true. Thank you to yourself and the team. But yeah, I've been running past this arena. I've been here when Kuala boxed Dallas Perez twice. Linares, Scott Quigg beat Kiko. I've been around there, watched Hatton. So, it's just like a little achievement for myself to, headline.
Obviously, both of you are sitting right there for a shot at the world title, but the winner of this fight, no doubt, should go on and challenge for the world title as well. Is that the reason that you wanted to take this fight? Obviously, the opportunity to fight in Manchester, but you just believe you got too much for Jordan Gill?
I believe, he's a good fighter, he's got a good team around him, but I just believe I'm better than him in every single way, shape and form. That's just my opinion, that's what I believe. He said he's going to knock me out, crazy, but yeah, man, we'll see.
Obviously, we know you can punch, and he showed up in Belfast that he's punching harder at 126. Could be tactical. We know you're slick as well. Both of you can box and punch. You expect an exciting fight, one that potentially doesn't last the 12 rounds?
I'm expecting a great fight. He's a good fighter. He's got a new team around him, so he's got a few tricks up his sleeve. So I can just see what he comes out and brings, and then I will adapt from that. But yeah, man, I'm expecting a good fight, but there's only one winner, and that's me.
Believe in your power? Believe you have the power to hurt him?
Yeah, of course, no doubt. My left hook's crazy, man. Jeez, it's crazy, but we're not relying on that. We're relying on hard work, dedication. But yeah, man, I've got the power to destroy him, but he's a good fighter. I'm not going to take that away from him, and I believe that, he's going to be calculated. And, but one winner is me.
For both of you, the aim is just one thing, to fight for and win a world title. Defeat puts you both a long way back. It's must win.
A long way. That don't even cross my mind. I just think about what I'm going to eat after the fight when I won.
Jordan, welcome. I kind of said earlier in an interview that you kind of just roll in the dice and you're free rolling at this point. I'm not sure whether you feel the same way, but a lot of people wrote you off after the Kiko Martinez fight. You stepped up. I remember Tony Bellew came up to me in Belfast and honestly said, "What do you think?" I said, "I think, Mick Conlan's a big favourite here." He said, "No, Jordan's going to do it." And how right he was. You were devastating in Belfast. And you see the media appearances, the interviews, your confidence seems to be on another level right now. You look super chilled, ready for a big night in Manchester on Saturday. The biggest of your career so far.
Yeah, it is the biggest of my career so far. I am super chilled. We're having a good time. We had a good time in Belfast. We're having a good time in Manchester. Yeah, it's a good city. I was just looking forward to fighting and yeah, rolling the dice again. I went to Belfast to box Conlan, coming to Manchester to box Zelfa. So long may it continue. I'm just enjoying myself and having a good time.
Where has that confidence come from? You seem really calm in Belfast as well. When you walked out, I couldn't make out if you were super confident or just there for the last fight of your career. It was the first. And again, here you just seem to have a real calmness about you going into this fight.
Yeah, I feel very calm. Everything in my life is good now. I've got a good team behind me. I feel happy. I feel settled. 130 is making me live a normal life. I don't have to weigh everything that I'm eating for even in and out of camp. It's fantastic. So yeah, I'm just happy. I'm in a good place and ready to fight. It's going to be a great fight.
Everybody trying to break down this fight, but nobody really sure which way it goes. Both of you guys know your boxing. An interesting fight. Both of you can punch, both of you can box. What do you expect in there on Saturday night?
I'm a non-puncher already. I think it's going to be a great fight. It depends. There's a lot of variables. You know, Zelfa's very versatile. He does a lot of things well. He's got a lot of strings to his bow. He's a good mover. He can punch. He's good on the counter. Yeah, he's very fast. So I just can't see a way that this fight isn't going to be exciting. And that, as a boxing fan and a boxer myself, you know, it just makes me excited for it. So I think there's going to be a bit of everything in this fight. There's going to be moments where it's cagey, moments where we're boxing, moments when he's pressuring, when I'm pressuring. So yeah, it's exciting. I think there's going to be blood and guts, and I'm here for it.
Both of you guys back your power as well. I know that Barry was saying, you know, when I saw him in the change room after the Conlon fight, he was talking about how hard you're punching right now. You've always been able to punch at 26, but it seems like there's real word around the gym. I don't know if it's something in the gym with Lee Wood, you know, when he joined, started becoming a big puncher. We've seen AJ back to his striking best as well. But, you know, a lot of noise about the power that you're bringing into this fight as well.
Imagine how much power I'd have if I got Barry to dress up as Spider-Man. I think we missed a trick there.
Bad form him not doing it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I feel like I'm punching hard. I feel strong at the weight. I'm developing. I think, you know, I turned pro so young. I had my debut 7 days after my 18th birthday. And I feel like I'm a late developer. So now you're seeing the best of me. You're seeing the true Jordan Gill. I'm not restricted on my weight. I feel solid. So, yeah, I'm punching hard.
And finally, the same question that I said to Zelfa, really. Just one aim, fight for a world championship, become world champion. Saturday's the focus, but must win. Must win.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. If the winner wants to fight, if either of us want to fight for a world title, we've got to win this fight. And that's why it's so exciting, because there's a lot on the line. It's a fight that everyone's looking forward to, because, you know, two Brits above British title level, above European title level, makes it exciting. There's a lot on the line for us both. And, you know, this is, when the fight was put to me, I said yes straight away. Not because I dislike Zelfa. I like Zelfa. He's a good guy. I have respect for him. I have respect for his team. He's got a great team behind him. But when we get in the ring on Saturday, the person you're fighting isn't a person. They're just a target, and you have to go for that target.
Well, tremendous domestic fight on Saturday. We say domestic, it really is a world level 130-pound fight. Jordan Gill against Zelfa Barrett will headline for a shot at the world title, Manchester Arena, live and exclusive on DAZN around the world. We have a great fight card for you, of course. As we said before, the unification matchup, Ellie Scotney against LeBoeuf. Rhiannon Dixon goes for the world title against Karen Carabajal, opening the broadcast as well. A banger with Gomez against Kane Baker. Steve Clark and Jack Turner representing Liverpool. Jordan Flynn here after his disappointment, ready and getting ready for the fight, of course, with Cameron Vong. Jimmy Sains looking to go 4-0. William Croller in his hometown. And Brandon Scott, a.k.a. Spider-Man, is back. Don't miss all the action live from Manchester on Saturday night. We're going to face off the fighters now. Thank you.
It's interesting, Darren, when you look at the dynamics, I always try and read into what a fighter says as much as I can on that top table in fight week. Some don't want to give too much away, do they, this close to the fight? But Jordan Gill, once again, just the most composed man in Manchester.
Yeah.
As he was in Belfast.
Relaxed, composed, rejuvenated, I think is the right word. Very good. Up at 130 now, super featherweight, says he's feeling strong. And look, the proof's in the pudding. I mean, there perhaps are question marks over Conlon's, not ability, but his desire, perhaps, I'm not sure. But still, you can only beat who's in front of you, and he looks very good doing so, Jordan Gill. He looks strong, physically strong, quick, powerful, no nonsense. And yeah, that kind of attitude is very important going into a fight like this. Look, it's all smiles. You need to enjoy what you're doing. You've got to love what you're doing to bring out the best of you, and he does.
Well, he said to me that, you know, the hurdles he's come over in life over the last 12 months mean that nothing can really faze him in a ring. And here is the before the bell cast. I mean, I did say expect some fun and games with Brandon Scott. Quite enjoyed that. Brandon Scott returns, never a dull moment. Jimmy Sains, also there, trained by your former trainer, of course. Tony Sims looked really impressive, hasn't he, through 3 fights. Great experience early this year, as I said, on stablemate Conor Benn's undercard in Las Vegas. Will Croller Certainly looked exciting. One thing he's aware of is that even though he's Anthony Croller's brother, and that's helped with the opportunities, he said he'll repay Eddie with promising excitement. 3 stoppages back-to-back on the circuit. He stayed busy, and he's earned his shot on DAZN once again.
You beat me to it there with that stat of the 3 stoppages. He's improving. He's looking good. He's getting better. He's looking very exciting, and that's all you can ask for. Is those baby steps. This is an intriguing fight. I like this one. Look, I've been a big fan of Kane Baker. I really have for a long, long time. Boxing fan with a licence. For him to win this English title would be everything.
He told me yesterday it's his undisputed world championship, this fight.
There you go. There you go.
That tells you all you need to know.
Yeah, and this man here, you know, son of a legend of these parts, if you like, big ticket seller. There's going to be a lot of noise before the first bell during this fight, and I've no doubt what both said, sorry, this could be fought in a phone booth. It's going to be absolute fireworks.
We saw that great fight with Reece Bellotti and Liam Dillon, didn't we, in February? What a time it is to be a British super featherweight. No doubt the winner of this fight will have a big eye on challenging for that British title. But what a moment this is. Rhiannon Dixon captured Commonwealth and European honours, but this is the big moment. A pharmacist turned potential world champion in a very short space of time. This, Darren, is what it's all about.
Yeah. It is. This is a big step up. This really is a big step up. Carvajal, we see her against Katie Taylor. She was competitive in that fight. She was well beaten, but very competitive. She can fight long. She can get stuck in. She can do a bit of everything. But I've been very impressed with the rate of improvement from Rhiannon Dixon. She's really coming on, and I feel this is a right moment for her to challenge for a world title.
That vacant world title on the line. That is the prize. As you can see, Eddie Hearn holds it there. A belt formerly held, as I said earlier, by Katie Taylor. This will be your co-main. Ellie Scotney has showed real moments of brilliance through 8 fights. Ségolène Lefebvre 18-0. No easy fights at this level, Darren. What are the dangers for Ellie here?
Kind of the unknown quantity of her opponent. She's tall. You can see the clips I've seen of her. She's very ungamely at times. She can fight long, she can get stuck in, you can see her, no nonsense, but I'm a massive fan of Ellie, I really am. She's got that pedigree, she's got that fire that sometimes you don't need to see, but it's brilliant. Us as fans, every time Ellie fights, you know what you're going to get. I'm a big fan of her in and out of the ring, and this one promises to be a cracker. So much on the line, Jamie.
Certainly the longest face-off of her 8-fight professional journey as well there, Ellie Scotney. Don't mind seeing that at all. WBO, IBF. 122-pound super bantamweight unification. What a division that is. Erica Cruz, Yamalif Mercado, very much a path to undisputed, as Eddie Hearn said, for the winner. And leads us into the main event. All eyes on Zelfa Barrett. What a moment this is for him. Headlining in his home city, the arena he's been to so many times as a boy, as a fan, against, as you said, a seemingly completely rejuvenated Jordan Gill at 130 pounds, full of confidence after victory against Michael Conlan. Gill v Barrett, your main event. They're both right up for this, Darren Barker.
I love this fight. I love everything about it. I love the styles. I love the fighters themselves. I love what the winner could be facing. They're above, like Gill said, British, Commonwealth, European level. It's about now challenging for your dream of becoming a world champion.
We are hoping to be joined by promoter Eddie Hearn very soon off the stage. Fair bit to talk about in the news as of late. Sometimes we get the odd viral moment out of him, don't we? So
I mean, it's quite frequent.
So there is Zelfa Barrett, as you say, talking about being relaxed. Zelfa Barrett also seemingly relaxed, and as I said, happy to soak up the pressures of what, as I say, is a big moment for him. Here is promoter Eddie Hearn, joining us off the stage now. Eddie, good to see you. My first question is, after Jordan Gill beat Michael Conlan, like me and Darren have been talking about, in a fight that not many people gave him a massive chance of winning, in the fashion that he did, when you looked at the potential options, how did you land on Zelfa Barrett?
Because the domestic fights make sense. You know, when you're looking to challenge for a world title, arguably he could have got a shot after Conlan. It was the kind of victory that would say, fair enough, but you've got to probably double down and get one more big win. And rather than fighting someone at 130 that no one's really heard of, why not make a big domestic fight with 2 guys that are at the same level? And, you know, you keep analysing this fight. It's actually impossible to really pick a winner, isn't it? Like, I know there's a guy that you're going to think, yeah, I lean towards him, but nothing gives me any confidence that you pick correctly either way. And that's why it's a great fight. It's a pure 50-50 fight. You know, we're always quick to say, oh, I don't know where the loser goes. But let's be honest, if you lose this fight, I'm not thinking about you at world level. I'm not thinking about trying to navigate you to a shot at a world title. You either retire or you go back and fight at British or European level. And neither guy wants that. So it's a big moment. And sometimes, like, I thought what Jordan Gill did really well in Belfast was he went into an experience that he's never really had before, which was like 6,000 or 7,000 in Belfast as the away fighter, and came through it.
Was you surprised?
Yeah, I was. I didn't think he'd win the fight. I thought that the Jordan Gill that I saw in the Kiko Martinez fight looked like a guy that was at the end of his career. It was purely weight, right? And up at 130, I wasn't sure whether he'd carry the power, he'd have the resistance. He took shots off Michael Conlon. He came through a couple of tricky rounds in there, but he showed power in that fight. And he's got a real calmness about him at the moment.
Yeah,
you know, where he just feels like, and I don't know whether that's because he thought that he was done and now it's like a shot to nothing, or he truly believes it. And, you know, Ben's gym have got a real way of injecting that confidence in people. You see it in Lee Wood, of course you've seen it in AJ, but other fighters as well. And, you know, a lot of those fighters are really developing their power in that gym. Lee Wood was always a puncher, but his power's gone to another level since he's been working with Ben. Now you're seeing AJ striking fantastically well as well.
This is your way to bring AJ into the
Yeah, but it is, isn't it? You're seeing him punch through the target now, and you're seeing him punch with more confidence. And self-belief goes a long way in this game. And I don't think the Zelfa have that same self-belief that Jordan Gill does. You know, he's going to be very nervous on Saturday night. It's a dream headlining at Manchester Arena. Must win for both. And I don't know how it's going to play out. Both guys have many different attributes, and I don't know. Both can be hurt. I think you favour the sharpness of Zelfa Barrett early in this fight. You did see him fade against Rakimov. Rakimov's a different kind of fighter to Jordan Gill. Yeah. But I do think Zelfa is tight up at 130. And I think in Jordan Gill, you've got a fighter that's going to be full of energy and full of beans at the weight.
I was just going to say about that Rakimov fight. He took that on short notice. I think he perforated his eardrums. Did drop Rakimov early in that fight. Can he take enough self-belief from what he did that night in Abu Dhabi into this?
Yeah, I mean, look,
he belongs at
did
world
have
level.
a short camp. Certainly a shorter camp than you'd want for a fight of that magnitude. But he did get overrun in that fight. But let's be honest, Rakimov is an animal. I mean, you saw him in a fight of the year with Joe Caldina. You just saw Nunes come through him. And, you know, Nunes had to really batter him to stop him in that fight in Russia. So Rakimov's a very good fighter. I think that Jordan Gill, can he really push the pace like Rakimov? I'm not so sure if he's that type of fighter. I think a lot of it comes down to who can hurt who. I really believe that Zelfa Barrett can hurt Jordan Gill. Can Jordan hurt Zelfa Barrett? Yeah. Both guys can be hit.
You mentioned Joe Cordina there to butt in. Jordan said it there. They're above. Both of these are above British, Commonwealth, European level. I know Joe's got commitments in Saudi, but is that a fight you might look at the winner here?
Yeah, I think that Joe just wants massive fights. And if a fight becomes big enough and the money's there for Joe, he's going to take it. A lot of
unifications,
yeah, he does, but also he wants the biggest fights possible. And sometimes unifications aren't there to be made, but a big domestic fight is. I think he'll be fascinated with the fight, whether he's looking at the winner or not. A lot depends on the fight itself and how that person comes through. But also, Joe might be looking to move up at some point to 135 pounds. You know, Nunes is Joe's mandatory challenger. That's a tough fight. You have the Nunes against the winner of this fight. You know, obviously you've got other 130. You've got Valdez now, won the World Championship at the weekend against Liam Wilson. You've got a lot of other champions at 130. Lamont Roach is a guy that we've been speaking to, could fight the winner of this fight. So I'm pretty sure the winner will land a shot at the world title.
When you look at that super bantamweight division at 122 pounds, what a division that is. Erica Cruz, Yamlif Mercado with the WBC, and two champions here. Do you see this as a path to undisputed for
it has to be. I mean, every champion in every weight class, we should always be looking at a way to find out who is the best in that weight class. And the way to do it is to make them all fight each other and find out who the undisputed champion is. You know, Ramla Ali is circling for Mercado. That's a fight we could make in June. Erica Cruz fights May the 11th against Romero in a very, very tough fight. I'd like to see whether it's, you know, whether Ramla fights Mercado, the winner of that fight in Cruz, very quickly against the winner of this fight. And, you know, that's how it should be. LeBeouf, by the way, is bang up for it. I mean, she's, you know, that was a heavy stare down, and she was really dialed in, ready to go. She's 18-0. Ellie Scottney whilst has always been in fun fights and has always been entertaining, has lost rounds. She's all action. Sometimes she gets hit a little bit too much. And LeBoeuf is all action as well. She's a big volume puncher.
Is it
Shia LeBoeuf. What?
Frank LeBoeuf.
Lefebvre.
Well, you say Lefebvre, I say LeBoeuf. Do you know who told me it was LeBoeuf?
Go on.
Her manager, Lee Eaton.
Well,
I mean, who am I going to judge, you or Lee Eaton? It's a coin flip.
You look like a right Wally now, Jamie.
The translator told me it was.
I would have said it was Lefebvre.
Yeah.
But Lee told me LeBoeuf.
Well,
Do you know what? It is a very good
and
fight.
Lee's half French.
Lee,
He grew up in Paris via Cannington.
He's very cultured, isn't he?
I want to talk to you about Rihanna Dixon and this story.
Yeah.
It's a nice story. I was doing a bit of research. 100 months ago, it was fight week for Anthony Crolla against Darlis Perez. And when you look at the story, it's a big moment for Crolla, a busy night for him with Will in action as well. But we like stories like this.
Yeah, listen, it's a great story for both of them. I mean, you know, I saw something different from Rhiannon up there, just a little bit of an air of confidence that she hasn't really had before. I think she finally believes she's ready for this level. When she fought for the Commonwealth title, it kind of baffled me, the fact that she kind of like felt it was a 50-50. And when I said to her, just let your hands go, and she stopped her comfortably. Against Standers, you know, she won most rounds. She got hit a little bit too much towards the end, but it was very exciting. Got to be careful against Carabajal. Long levers, can punch as well. We saw that in the Katie Taylor fight. Wasn't afraid to exchange at times, and will be very confident off the back of the Katie Taylor fight. But I think Rhiannon looks good. She's got confidence now. Physically, she looks like a different fighter. You know, I saw a picture of her training yesterday. Looks really, really strong. And a life-changing moment for her, you know, opening up the doors to the big fights with Beatrice Ferreira, Caroline Dubois. Who knows what Katie Taylor's going to do in the future? Terry Harper. You know, and it's a great story, and I feel like she finally believes she should be there. And for Crolla, you know, becoming a world champion trainer, so it's a nice string to the bow.
I like the Before the Bell here.
Yeah.
My little segment here. You got some brilliant fighters. Talk to me about Before the Bell.
Yeah, I mean, firstly, of course, two guys. I mean, Steve Clark looks like be on the main card, but two guys in Steve Clark and Jimmy Sains who have shared the ring together. That's a future fight. Jimmy has really established himself in the pros now. 3 fights, 3 knockouts. 6 rounds, and you know, a little step up on paper as well, bringing a lot of fans up. Jack Turner, pound for pound, super exciting.
I love Jack
flyweight, but so many
Beast.
first round knockouts, so exciting from the get-go. Brandon Scott, you know, absolute Fruit Loop. I'm not sure what went up.
Did you enjoy that?
I didn't know what was going on.
Have you ever worked with a
Do you know
fighter
what's
like
funny?
Brandon?
I'm kind of at the presser, and I'm looking down at Brandon, and I'm thinking, you actually don't look in great shape. And then I find out it's Sonny Edwards. Do you know what I mean?
Love that.
And yeah, so Brandon Scott back after his hand operations as well. William Crolla.
You like William Crolla,
I do
don't
like
you?
William Crolla. I think he's a bit of a dark horse. I think he's got great power. I think he's very exciting. Obviously, he's going to do well in Manchester. And Jordan Flynn. You know, this is going to be really interesting when we make the Jordan Flynn-Cameron Vong fight, which will be rescheduled for June. Because this little run-out is going to really help Jordan Flynn, who's been inactive.
Yeah.
And if he can get out and look good and come through with that confidence, and Cameron Vong's coming back from the injury, it's going to be a very, very interesting fight.
Cameron?
I have. Devastated because, you know, sold a lot of tickets for this fight, and you never want to pull out of a fight where you've been, you know, you've had the back and forth, you've had the verbals, you tell him you can beat him with one arm, and then you have to pull out. And you're not really given any choice by the team. But he'll be ready for June, and it'll be a massive fight.
Whet the appetite a bit more for that one?
Absolutely, and like, it's going to help Jordan. But you also, at the same time, the fight's going to be rescheduled for June, which is, what, 8-9 weeks away? So as a fighter, you don't want any niggles. You know, the last thing you want is a cut. So he'll be looking for a clean victory on Saturday.
Go on,
I was about to jump in there.
I've
just thought about something else, just away from this card. Talk to me about Chev Clark, your mates at Boxer.
I mean, look, they said it wasn't them and it was Mick Hennig. I don't really care who it was. I'm just saying, don't mess with a fighter's career, because we've been waiting for 2 months for that fight to be called to purse bids. And for 2 months, we presumed we were fighting Isaac Chamberlain, right? Chev was supposed to fight in March or April, but we've had to wait because that fight got ordered. To pull out an hour before the purse bid, it's just frustrating. Like, if you really are doing it to go the European route, like against Sislak, I mean, who cares about Isaac Chamberlain against Sislak? What people care about is Isaac Chamberlain against Chev Clark in a great domestic fight. And yes, that's the 5th one on the spin, but I get it, like, we're operating an elite stable. Every one of those 5 fights that were ordered, we would have won. So of course I want them.
Yeah.
But if you're not ready or you're not good enough, just pull out and let the fighter move on with his career. So that's more the frustration. And now we're looking to make Chev Clark for the British title and hope to make an announcement today.
When you are in discussions, you say like you favoured your fighters in those fights. When perhaps a fight gets ordered and your fighter might be seen as the underdog, how much do you listen to the fighter? If they truly want to fight, do you let them go for it?
No, you listen to the team. You don't listen to the fighter because the fighter will always think they can beat everyone. But sometimes the team get carried away with the opportunity and with the money, and you've got to weigh everything up. I mean, honestly, when Darren Barker fought Sergio Martinez, we actually thought he could win. But let's be honest as well, at the same time, it was a massive shot to nothing. Yeah. It was a load of money at the time. And we were like, what else is there to, like, we're rolling the dice, let's go and fight Sergio Martinez. If you win, well, you've hit the jackpot, and we know you're good enough to be competitive. So, and actually, that experience probably helped him beat Daniel Gill because you'd been through that and you'd been in with that level before. You know,
it's mad. This is sport. You want to test yourself against the best. Like, I don't get it. You know, these people, the fighters that will duck people, swerve people. I don't understand it. I don't get it when you're in a sport where you want to just see how good you are. And that was the occasion for me, if I'm honest.
But the thing is, when you look at the fights here, and I truly believe that 10 times out of 10, Dawn Smith beats Adam Azine. It would be a cracker, right? The atmosphere would be incredible. Adam is more than good enough to be competitive in that fight. So what? If you get beat, you come back, you come again. But I do also understand that it's not always the right time for a fighter's career. But, you know, when Richard Riakporhe pulled out the Jai Opetaia fight, there was negotiations for over a month, and he pulled out on the day of the purse bid. Adam Azine pulled out against Dawn Smith the day before the purse bid, when they'd already decided well over 6 weeks before they weren't going to take the fight. Fraser Clark pulled out on the day of the purse bid. Caroline Dubois against Beatrice Ferreira, they pulled out close to the purse bid. So if you don't fancy the fight, that's okay, but just do it a little bit earlier. And the fighters end up getting loads of stick. You know, like Fraser Clark really struggled when they pulled him out because he wanted to fight, you know. So anyway, it is what it is. Chev will fight for the British title, but when you're operating at that level, not everyone can compete. Like the signing of Jerome Boots Ennis.
I was just about the next question.
Where, you know, you're sitting now and you're saying how stable with Devin Haney fighting next week. And, you know, that is one of the biggest signings that certainly we've ever made. But the response to that, everybody knows. I had so many people from the industry messaging me last night going, wow, that is one hell of a signing. We've just got to make sure that everyone knows just how great this kid is.
Future Hall of Famer.
Yeah, and pound for pound now. We've got to get him in the fights. We've got to get him undisputed at 47. He can move up. I want to see him fight Terence Crawford. You know, I mean, that's a fight that's been talked about, and Terence will only take that fight if it's big enough. I'll back Jerome Boots Ennis against anybody. And what a joy to be guiding this man's career.
When you look at the fighters you've signed recently, particularly not British fighters across the pond, world champions like Matthias, like Boots, you look at the schedule on DAZN. What's encouraging these fighters to want to fight on DAZN now? What's changed about
activity? You know, look, no one wants to let you in. So people will get in a fighter's ear and say, don't sign with Hearn. You know, he's not going to bring you through. DAZN, what's DAZN? It's an app. All of a sudden, DAZN becomes the home of boxing. There isn't a big fight taking place in the world that's scheduled that isn't on DAZN. Every single fight. Haney against Garcia, Fury against Usyk, Canelo against Munguia, Taylor against Catterall, the 5v5, Bivol against Beterbiev. Everything's on DAZN. So now the fighters are kind of looking at it going, hang on a minute, I can get activity, obviously I can get the best promoter in the world, and now I can also get the home of boxing. What am I waiting for? And I've got 4 or 5 fighters in the top 10, or if you want to debate it, top 15, pound for pound in the world who want to sign with us. We can't take everybody on because we've got to deliver for them, and we've got to give them activity. That's the key. But we've got to build them. That's the problem. These guys like Boots, why isn't he fighting in Philadelphia? Everyone knows who Boots, like, this kid should be a god in Philadelphia, and he will be once we take him to the Wells Fargo Centre and give him that homecoming. but we know how to do it. And when you've got a fighter with a talent of boots, it's a walk in the park for me. Easy.
Makes your job easier.
Yeah, of course. And you know, like I said, that's a massive signing.
Well, so much to look forward to in the future, not just on DAZN as well, of course, but also this weekend from the AO Arena right here in Manchester. From myself, Jamie Ward, Eddie and Darren. We'll see you tomorrow for the weigh-in. Do just want to give a special mention to former British, Commonwealth and European champion Willie Limond, who unfortunately was taken unwell earlier this week. From all of us here, everyone at Matchroom DAZN, our thoughts, love and prayers are with Mr. Willie Limond. Stay strong, Willie, and keep fighting.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome. From the four corners of the world, to the four corners of this ring, the fight starts now! How do you like it?
Off the shoulder. So aggressive, so focused.
Look at these two guys! Still the undisputed champion of the world!
Boxing on DAZN, brought to you by William Hill.
The only place to buy your new Mercedes-Benz is direct from Mercedes-Benz. It's the only place where you'll always find our best offers, like on the A-Class range from £299 a month. Simply talk to the team at your local store or search the online showroom. Order your brand new Mercedes-Benz. Choose, buy, drive your new Mercedes-Benz.
Fresh coffee? Better.
Keep practicing.
Better.
Keep perfecting.
Better.
Keep going. Because no matter how good you get, there's always room for better. Delta. Keep climbing.
Boxing on DAZN, brought to you by William Hill.